I'm not expecting Red Dead Redemption 3 to come out until I want to say next generation because Red Dead Redemption 2 was released back in 2018, back when PS4 was still a thing. And that was last generation. The PS5 came out in late 2020. And since then, it's been around for about, I want to say about 5 years at least. And and again, I haven't heard anything about any type of development for Red Dead Redemption 3. And I think it's one of those things where Rockstar Games is obviously trying to get as much as they can out of Red Dead Online because I feel like the online game mode for GTA 5 is one of the things that kept people invested in the title uh, like throughout most of the teens decade. I mean, the story was good and the gameplay and all the action was exciting, but obviously the online game mode is what kept people into GTA 5. And I think people are still enjoying the online game mode for GTA 5 because they're still waiting for GTA 6 to come out. But the problem is, Rockstar Games keeps delaying that. You know, you're supposed to be getting GTA 6 earlier or sometime early next year, but it's been delayed and it's supposed to be coming out like in I think like the fall or winter of 2026. I heard like the release date was sometime around November, but that's something that might end up getting delayed as well. And it's ridiculous because I feel like Rockstar's had more than enough time to have had that game ready and released, but I don't know. I mean, GTA 5 is it's a game that's hard to follow up on because it's sold way more than anybody expected. It's gone down as one of the best-selling video games of all time. And and I don't know, like GTA 6 has a massive budget of like 1 or 2 billion dollars. And and this game better be a massive hit. It better be big. It better like shatter like, sales expectations and all that because if it doesn't, it's going to put Rockstar in a very very bad situation. It's going to negatively affect their reputation because a lot of people have been waiting for GTA 6 for over a decade now and I don't know, it's like we've been getting like teaser trailers and all this other stuff and I don't know, it just seems like I feel like the game is ready, but at the same time, I don't know. I guess they're trying to polish it because it's a really, really big deal. But if GTA 6 like tanks or if it bombs or what have you, I feel like they're gonna end up losing millions. They're gonna end up having to cut most of their staff and they're gonna have to, you know, re they have to restructure like their company and scale back on a lot of stuff. But but I honestly feel like the success or failure of GTA 6 is going to have some type of effect on Red Dead Redemption 3 because if they lose a lot of money from GTA 6, that can ultimately affect the budget for Red Dead Redemption 3 when it does come out because it's definitely going to be a thing later down the line. But like I said, I don't think it's going to be a thing until the PlayStation 6 comes out. And Lord knows how expensive the PS6 is going to be because the PS5 was ridiculous in terms of like pricing and it got to a point where people were just buying it just so they could sell it for double of what they bought it for. And and I don't know, like, Red Dead Redemption 2, I feel like it's also one of those games that's going to be hard to follow up on because you look at how well it has done since its release. I think Red Dead Redemption 2 has sold over 79 million units since its release back in back in 2018. It hasn't even been a full decade yet, and the amount of success that it had and the amount of money that Rockstar made from it is crazy. And it makes you wonder whether or not Red Dead Redemption 3 is going to have that type of budget, because I don't know. I just don't feel like pouring $1 billion into any game is really worth it because with that type of money, you're taking a massive gamble. And and even though like Red Dead and the GTA series is hot, all it takes is one really bad game to tank the series in a lot of people's eyes. And it doesn't have to be that way because a lot of people know that Rockstar has other IPs from the past that people like that were popular back in 2000s. You look at the Bully game that came out in the mid 2000s. You look at Max Payne, which was actually the first two games was good. The third game I felt was underrated, but at the same time, um, I think it fell below desired expectations in terms of sales, and it was considered to be a commercial failure. You have Midnight Club, which a lot of people liked back in the day, but the thing with Midnight Club is that the reason why it was popular is because the racing genre was white hot during the 2000s. And I don't think Rockstar has really done anything with the Midnight Club series within the past decade or so. So there are other IPs out there that they could have brought back a long time ago, opposed to putting their stock into like two major IPs. But I don't know. I feel like with GTA 6, it's going to be more about, I guess, it's going to be more about greed. And I feel like the price for the game is going to be way more expensive than it has any business being. And, I wouldn't expect anything different from Red Dead Redemption 3 because at this point, Rockstar knows how popular like the IP is, and obviously they're gonna do something similar with Red Dead Redemption 3, but different. I feel like the Red Dead series should have had its own like movie or its own like television show by now because I feel like at this point it is transcended like video games and all that stuff to a point where it could work on cinema. But I'd be really pissed off if Rockstar decided to do the same thing with Red Dead Redemption 3 that they're doing with GTA 6 in terms of constantly delaying the release date and all that other stuff to a point where people are fed up and they eventually forget about it. GTA 6 looked like it's going to be more woke in comparison to its previous installments, and I'm hoping that Red Dead Redemption 3 doesn't end up like GTA 6 in relation to wokeness. And I feel like that's one of the main things that's a part of the appeal of the Red Dead Redemption series is that it's not woke and it's something that allows people to suspend their belief and be I guess impressed by the I guess like the theme of the game and the mature like themes and like language and stuff like that, the blood and the violence and the storytelling. It's something that is it's very different from what you see nowadays in relation to video games that feel hollow and lifeless and bland. And obviously, the Red Dead series is popular because it started back in the 2000s. And I feel like the older IPs that started in the 80s, 90s, or the 2000s, or even like the early teens, are like the ones that stand out the most nowadays. And a lot of people are praying and hoping that Rockstar doesn't ruin Red Dead, the series or anything like that, because many people feel like that's kind of what's being done to Grand Theft Auto, and it's something that doesn't need to happen. But I don't know. We have to wait for that game to come out and see what the reception is going to be, whether or not people are going to take a liking to it, whether or not it's a massive success, whether it makes millions of dollars, whether it shatters any sales records. Um, but yeah, I feel like Red Dead Redemption 3, if and when it does come out, it's going to be it's going to be crazy to see how people are going to react to it. I don't know whether or not it's going to surpass Red Dead Redemption 2. And I mean, I don't see the game coming out until I want to say until like around 2030 at least because I don't know. I read somewhere that Fallout 5 isn't expected until like the start of the next decade. So like 2030 at the earliest for Fallout 5. And and yeah, and the reason I say that is because like I said earlier, I haven't heard any news or anything about um Red Dead Redemption 3 being in development or anything like that because obviously they've been putting all their time and all their stock into GTA 6 and trying to perfect it and trying to polish it and, trying to come up with something fresh that people can sink their teeth into. But I don't know. I don't know. I honestly feel like Red Dead Redemption 3 would be better off, say for the PS6, even though I would like to see it for the PlayStation 5 because I don't know. You would like to have like your main franchise. Like if you're a video game company, you would like to have a major entry of a particular video game set for each generation. And at this rate, it seems like Red Dead might possibly skip the PlayStation 5, or it might be one of those deals where it's released on the PS6 and also the PS5 as well. But the thing is, how many people will be able to afford the PS6 by the time it comes out? Because obviously the cost of living is going up. And I don't know. I just feel like a lot of people nowadays are less invested in video games now compared to like 10 years ago because um, there's just so much you have to worry about nowadays in terms of gaming. And people realize that companies are money hungry. Corporations are more concerned about microtransactions and giving you incomplete games so they can reel more out of you through DLC and stuff like that. So I don't know. I mean, hopefully, Rockstar doesn't pull anything like that with any of their future games. I wouldn't be shocked if there were microtransactions and stuff like that in GTA 6. It doesn't have to be like that for Red Dead Redemption 3, but yeah, we're just gonna have to wait and see what happens when the game is announced. I don't expect it to happen anytime soon, but we all know Red Dead Redemption 3 is coming, and hopefully the game doesn't end up being a disappointment.